So basically, the Hawks could have traded for Pascal Siakam. According to Michael Scotto of HoopsHype, the Atlanta Hawks were considered the team with the most trade interest in Toronto Raptors forward Pascal Siakam over the summer. While talks for Pascal Siakam centered around DeAndre Hunter, AJ Griffin, and draft pick compensation, it was not enough, it seemed. And allegedly, there was a young player that the Hawks did not want to include that's worth noting should the two teams revisit trade discussions. The Atlanta Hawks were unwilling to part with rookie guard Kobe Bufkin in a trade talk for Pascal Siakam, league sources told Michael Scotto of HoopsHype. So before we continue today's video, first off, we're on the way to 20,000 subscribers, so it would mean the world for your boy who's right now a grad student at the University of Miami if you could hit that like and subscribe button, mainly the subscribe button, because we're trying to get to 20,000. But I want to hear those thoughts. Would you guys have traded Kobe Bufkin, DeAndre Hunter, and AJ Griffin for Pascal Siakam if Siakam obviously told you he would resign? Now, Coach Quin Snyder is allegedly very high on Kobe Bufkin, thinks he's going to be a stud. And why wouldn't you? The guy averaged 19.5 points, shot 52% from the field and 45% from three, and grabbed 6 boards over the last 8 games of the season for the Wolverines. And the thing is I've met Kobe Bufkin, I've interviewed him, and he is a full 6'4", maybe even 6'5". Like, when I looked at him, I was like, dude, isn't he listed at 6'4"? We were all like, me and a couple other scouts and journalists were just talking. We're like, dude, that guy's like a full 6'4". Like, when they said 6'4", he ain't like 6'4" in quotes. No, 6'4" with no shoes is what he is. That was full. And he was a guy that had skill, had game, was fun to watch. And he's 6'4" with a 6'8" wingspan. Right? He's literally one of the younger guys in the draft class. Like, he played 2 years of college ball and he's 19. He turns 20 in 8 days on the September 21st. It's September 23rd. So for me, when I look at him, I think this is a kid who, like, I understand why they didn't want to get rid of him. He has the size that he isn't going to be hunted. He's got that mix of touch, elite finishing, a good release point on his pull-up jump shot, and he's a willingly aggressive defender. And I'd put my chips on this is a guy who's going to be able to separate himself from his man as attacking the rim. And I think long-term, he's got good starter potential. And Bufkin was supposedly the player the Raptors considered selecting at number 13 in the draft before they ultimately chose Grady Dick. And another player to watch in potential trade talks between the Hawks and the Raptors is swingman Bogdanovic, who becomes trade eligible in 3 days on September 16th. And he finished with the 3rd highest global rating according to HoopsHype at the World Cup, and is owed only $68 million over the next 4 seasons, which is really not that bad of a deal. It's $17 million a year. So I personally would do, if I was like, the Hawks, and because I'd be like, okay, I really like Bufkin, and I agree with them. And if you told me, all right, if you're not going to send us Bufkin, we want DeAndre Hunter, AJ Griffin, and Bogdanovic, all right, and draft compensation for Mr. Pascal Siakam, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. What I need to ask for in return is either Otto Porter. Like, personally, like, when I see that, I'm like, okay, DeAndre Hunter's making like 20 million and Bogdan's making, 17. So I think right there, that would bring them to, I think, just at the right amount that I don't know how much the Hawks can take back salary-wise. The Hawks are at 157 million. So DeAndre Hunter, Bogdan, yeah, it's like, it would put them at like 38 million. Plus AJ Griffin, it would be like 40 million. So they could take about $3 million back on salary, or technically they could take back about $11 million in salary while still being below the salary cap. So they could ask for Chris Boucher or Thad Young or Otto Porter. And personally, if I were the Hawks, I would be like, okay, we'll send you Bogdan, DeAndre Hunter, and AJ Griffin with like a unprotected 1st round pick. You have to give us either Thad Young or Otto Porter and Precious Achiuwa, or just Chris Boucher. I think Chris Boucher, 11 million might be too much. I'd rather have like the multitude of players. So I'd rather do, like both. Yeah, I'd rather do Otto Porter and Precious Achiuwa. Yeah, that's what I would do. Give me Pascal Siakam, Otto Porter, Precious Achiuwa for Bogdan, DeAndre Hunter, AJ Griffin, and an unprotected first round pick. Okay. Hey, my man. Like, I don't think that's bad. What do you guys think? Hey, can I hear from my man, Mr. my Hawks fans? Let me hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think? Okay, Aaron Barton, what's your thoughts? Okay, would you trade AJ Griffin, who's a knockdown shooter with great at setting his feet? He can hit those mid-range shots off the dribble. Yeah, he's got a little hitch on his shot that, he's probably got to get rid of, but he knows how to draw those fouls. He's got a huge wingspan that's like 7 foot. He's like shown he's a 3-and-D guy. Then you got yourself Kobe Bufkin, who I talked about. And then you have DeAndre Hunter, who I really liked when he initially came out, but he really didn't become what we thought he was going to become, which was like the utility Swiss Army knife. But he's got prototypical size. He does a little bit of everything, but he's not a master. He's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. He can run the pick and roll, shoot from the outside, attack and transition. And he's actually ranks in the upper echelon in those play types statistically. And he's like a fantastic defender who can guard every single position. The problem is his offensive game is just rather inconsistent, despite like the fact that he's like really well-rounded. Like, it just doesn't hit home the way it should. And like I said, what you're getting with Bogdanovic, you're getting a guy who can slash, who can score in like every imaginable way, who loves clutch time. He's actually a secondary ball handler. He can be a little streaky, but he's got great versatility, and he can defend guys, but he's not the best. Like, he can be a turnstile. But for Pascal Siakam, okay, I think Pascal Siakam, Otto Porter, and Precious Achiuwa is a realistic deal. And I think both teams win right there. And I'm just curious, if we just went into the trade machine, I mean, with Pascal, you're getting a guy that's going to, with Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, using his agility and speed with that size, he's a legit lethal threat with those three next to him. I mean, those two next to him, DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, being able to attack the rim. I mean, he's a great defender. I mean, who would you rather have, Pascal Siakam or John Collins? And if we go up to the little like trade thing from Fanspo where they give them the ranking, all right, let me pull this stuff up. I'll put this at the end of the video. Let's see what's the rating they give you guys, okay? If it loads. So Pascal Siakam with Otto Porter, and we said Precious Achiuwa for AJ Griffin, Bogdan, DeAndre Hunter, and what pick are we gonna give you? We'll give you the pick doesn't really matter, but we'll just do 2030 just for this sake. And right here it says, according to Fanspo, the trade would work. The Raptors would save $6 million. The Hawks would go from 157 to 163 million. So they would just be $2 million short of the salary cap, right? NBA current salary cap, I believe, is 165 million. It is, hard cap. What's the hard cap? Okay, what's the hard cap? Yes, a hard cap is 165. So the Hawks improved by 4 wins right here, and the Raptors, I guess, get worse by 4 wins. What would you guys do and why? I'm definitely curious. This is something that's been going on for months, so I think we're all in like this, like, where's Pascal gonna go? Okay, and I'm curious. I'm definitely curious, and I wonder who that package is gonna be for and what it'll look like, but that's definitely gonna be it from us. Hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe.